Welcome to this channel. This channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So in the past few days, I have received many messages from our Kung Fu friends and Qigong friends. Many of our friends complain to me that people have wasted a lot of money on the Qigong study or Kung Fu study, especially the online studies of Qigong and so forth. So today I like to share with you some truth. Why is it Kung Fu, Qigong, Neigong is so screwed up today? And hopefully after this video, you know what is the proper. And this video is not to blame on anybody, but this video is to point out what is the problem so that we just look at us like the consumer, be able to get a product which is serving us because we do pay money. And you might say, well, Hendrik, you are too commercialized, you are too westernized, you know, everything is paying for money and exchange trading. Well, you know what? If we want to talk about virtue, morality, then the first thing is we better get that trading to be honest and fair. It's like today, if you buy a cell phone, something wrong with it, you can return it, or you can get it exchanged and repaired. Only after we got into those standards, we be able to talk morality and virtue, okay? So let's start. We got three major problems in Chinese Kung Fu, in martial art, in Qigong, in Neigong, in meditation today. Three big problems. This three big problem is the thing which is make the world so messed up today. And you must know that. The first thing is people look at or studying the Chinese ancient classic like they are studying the Western mythology, philosophy. That is one very major problem in this past 100 of years. So people took that Chinese classic and they using the way how they study the Western philosophy, concepts, logic, mythology, and use that way to study the Chinese classic. Well, it turns out that that is not what the ancient Chinese is presenting things. So how is the ancient Chinese presenting things? The ancient Chinese presenting things like you have the say the classic of 1850s Wing Chun, okay? It actually describing what it is. The issue with that is they are using some descriptions or terms of the mother art of the Wing Chun 1850s, which is the Shaolin Short Strike Classic. And the Shaolin Short Strike Classic is using the General Qi Ming Dynasty military classic. Now, so when we study a Chinese classic, we need to go understand what the heck is this talking in the writing of 1850s Wing Chun classic. If we don't understand, we need to dig out everything. See, hey, where is this come from? Oh, this is from Shaolin. Oh, this is from Ermei. Oh, this is from White Crane. Okay, so what is it? Chase further. Okay. And if you chase further, you will come to a point to realize it. Oh, this is what he said. Oh, this is what happened today. Okay. Say, for example, if you chase the Wing Chun 1850s classic deep enough, you will get into this. For example, you get into the Shaolin classic. And then with the Shaolin classic, you look around, and you will see, oh, the BJJ or Jiu-Jitsu or Judo is using the same thing when they talk about the closed body. Oh, that means it has 4 arms. The leg, the body, and the 2 arms. The leg, the body, and the 2 arms. Then you realize it. Oh, yeah. So this is what it means. And right away, you can see, oh, it is not this type of this distance of stuff. So when the ancient Wing Chun 1850, they talk about closed body in the Cantonese called Mai San or Tip San. It means like our Jiu-Jitsu or BJJ is like this. It is not this, like short bridge and so forth. So if you go deep enough, you look into all those things, you come to a realization, say, oh, this is what it is. And that's how it's supposed to be. It is not about, oh, this is the writing of 1850. Oh, this is the philosophy of Tao. This is the concept. This is the logic. And then you compare about, oh, this lineage of Wing Chun have this concept, have this philosophy. No, those are not at all. Those are very westernized of thinking. In the ancient Chinese, it's not that. It's just you look at that, you understand what it is. If you don't, you dig deep. If you don't, you dig deeper. Once you see everything, and suddenly you look at the world, you say, oh, this is very simple with the BJJ stuff, very similar with the BJJ stuff. Only they do things differently. Then you get it. You realize it. Oh, this is what you use in the daily. Now, if you're using that philosophy stuff, now everybody will have their philosophy, their interpretation, their concept. You end up, you will never know what it is. Everybody can say whatever they want, but you will never know what it is. But if you go to the ancient Chinese way, you say, oh, sticking body is this way. BJJ fight this way. They do it this way. The Wing Chun 1850 doing this way. Oh, now I know. Now we can use it in the sparring or in the real fight. So there's no such thing as, oh, philosophy. This is Wing Chun philosophy. Is the closest between 2 points is a straight line. And then my philosophy, Bruce Lee's philosophy, and all this. But at the end, when people ask you, what is it? Oh, Wing Chun is the concept. We train one way. When we fight the other way. And so it is a mess. So the first thing is, when we read, when we understand China, try to study the Chinese classic, be it Qigong, be it martial art, be it Wing Chun, you better remember what I'm saying here, okay? Dig it out what it is. Now, I want to share with you, this is General Qigong's 1560s writings, descriptions. Today, this is the only English book in this world today, the first and only, which is tell you what is the general Qigong's presentation in martial. Why? Exactly is what I share with you. All other, even though they are teachers in university, when they try to translate this thing, they get into Tai Chi. What is that got to do with Tai Chi? At general Qigong time, Tai Chi is still not there. It's non-exist. Okay? So there's a problem. So that is, you cannot using Western philosophy, mythology, logic, concept type of mindset to study what the Chinese classic is. They are different. They're from different culture. Okay? Now, that's number one. Remember. Number two is, in this world today, they are full of buy and sell grandmaster. So buy and sell grandmaster is people who go to a teacher, learn one sets, and they say this is a secret sets. And then they become the grandmaster. And then they say, well, you know, I'm going to teach you these sets. In the Asia, in China, 100 years ago, it's already have those kind of stuff. So people say, I learned the secret sets from this grandmaster. And in fact, even today, I have many friends in Asia told me, say that, how the world is this buy and sell? In the morning, they bought the sets from one Chinese teacher, and in the afternoon, they break it to be apart. They sell it to the Westerner. That's a buy and sell grandmaster. Did they know what is the content? They don't. But it's a buy and sell. And a lot of Westerner today is doing exactly that. Like, for example, the sets of the 1850s Wing Chun. I put it in the YouTube. You see how many people is doing this buy and sell type of things. Okay, they just mimicking the sets, or mimicking when I say 6 core element, they say 6 core element too. But do they know anything about it at all? No, they don't. They just took one thing, mimic it, and sell. So those are buy and sell grandmaster. And then when they do not understand things, guess what? They're gonna get this Tai Chi style, put it inside there, packaging it up, buy and sell. Today's world, be it in Wing Chun, in Chinese martial art, in meditations, in Qigong, in Neigong, most are buy and sell. Okay, those type of grandmaster, most, because they don't know what it is. And like they said, oh yeah, internal Wing Chun. And then when they play the set, they say, well, we need to have to be like the Tai Chi soft. But you look at that, they are not even know what Tai Chi is about. Like people talk about Jing. Jing is not localizations using of strength. But you look at those people who say they have internal Wing Chun and they study Tai Chi too, Tai Chi way, internal Wing Chun, blah, blah, blah. You look at them standing in the Yi Kam Yong Ma, using like a structures type, their lower part of the body and the upper part of the body is disconnected. Those are actually violating the Tai Chi teaching. See, I told you the first thing, right? If you want to study the Chinese, ancient Chinese thing, you need to dig deep into it. So when the people talk about Jing, you want to dig deep into the Chinese Tai Chi's teaching on what is it. So it is very easy to spot on the buy and sell grandmaster. Now, of course, the buy and sell grandmaster will never be able to tell you this. Will never be able to tell you, oh, Wing Chun is based on Shaolin sword strike. It has 4 arms. And actually, it is nothing mysterious. In today's BJJ, we see it too. Only Wing Chun do it differently because Wing Chun is a striking art. In fact, if you look at today, the buy and sell were keeping using the so-called short bridge and all this type of thing. They train Qi Sao this way and that way. All is in this. They never train in this. That's why when they face a BJJ friend, the entire thing collapses. So this is a buy and sell grandmaster. He doesn't know what is exactly happened there in the Chinese ancient classic and the descriptions and everything. And their job is just buy and sell, and then they become grandmaster. Now, the third type, the third problem is the storyteller grandmaster. So the storytelling grandmaster is always my sifu. According to the legend, there's an Mui. There is the Zhan San Feng, for example, in the Tai Chi thing, the Zhan San Feng, the Taoist, right? So they have all the story like this. Taoist, Tai Chi is from the Taoist Zhan San Feng. The Wing Chun is from Mui, from Jisim, all kind of stuff. Now, let's talk about the Tai Chi. But today, the historian in China, even 100 years ago at the time, Tang Hao time, they know about the oldest Tai Chi is Chun family Tai Chi. And Chun family Tai Chi is using about 20-something momentum of the Qigong, which is in this book. They're using about 29, if I am not wrong, of the 32 to design their Chun Tai Chi martial arts. That's the base of it, which is based on this book. But then in the beginning of the 1900 or the late 1900, somebody start to, even though they study from the Chun Tai Chi, they break out and they say, no, Tai Chi is from the Song dynasty, is from the from Zhan San Feng. And then he talk about this Tai Chi, Wu Ji, blah, 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 blah. So again, this is creating stories, not basing on the Chinese classic anymore. And of course, a lot of these people are buy and sell grandmaster. If you look at that, like for the entire line, who really have a real life experience? Like in Wing Chun 1850, you know, those people are fighting, like with the Choi Lei Fat people, friend. Uprising is in the history, but you look at all this mysterious Tai Chi stuff, mysterious Wing Chun stuff. Does it record in the Chinese history? None. But all these stories, making up stories, and the best fighter, the king of Wing Chun. And even at one point, let me tell you this. One guy, actually, it is not one guy. Is the person went into the public saying that my teacher's grand teacher is the #1 fighter in Canton. So later I point out and say, what the heck is that? You're making up that thing. And so these people start to want to challenge me. I say, you know what? You are making up stories saying that the grand teacher is the best fighter in Canton. And now you better waiting in your home or your school to have all this grandmaster in the Canton to challenge you. You will be really busy. You don't have time to fight me, okay? By the way, there's a lot of real grandmaster in Canton, like from Chai Lei Fat, who fought the Japanese invasion, okay? So don't mess around with those people who really have their name in the Chinese history who involved in war. So this is story making grandmaster. Same in Qigong, in all this kind of stuff. Okay, I use this martial art analogy for you so that you know. So there are three things. One, never read the Chinese classic using the Western mythology, philosophy, study type of mindsets. Second, be careful for those buy and sell grandmaster. Everybody become grandmaster because everybody learn assets from somebody and then they tear it apart and selling to you, or you selling to people. The third thing is making stories. So right now you making the stories, you even making movies, okay? With this type of stuff, you screw the entire Chinese martial art and Neigong and Qigong. It doesn't matter it is Wing Chun or Shaolin and or Qigong. It is a mess. And who is the one who gets screwed? Of course, it's the consumer. Us, the consumer. Okay? So let me share with you a thing. Like in the Wing Chun, you check into the classic, you know that, hey, you know, this is how like the jiu-jitsu people play. And if you want to fight it, you better have this forehand or forearm. You cannot fight training this way and then you're going to fight this way. Now, I'm not saying that training this way is no good. I'm saying that this is the distance, the techniques are all different. And by the way, this is Shaolin Wang Chun. This is not Wing Chun. Okay, Wing Chun is this way. Okay, so it's like the BJJ. You'll be able to have the forehand and play. Now, when you say about Xing Qi to Dan Tian, you need to know, find out, oh, the reason why the Chinese say when you exhale, you have to tighten your butt, tighten your ass, tighten your lower abs, and then actually pull up your anus. Oh, it is because you want to be, like today in science, your pelvic floor muscle is activated by pulling up your anus or huiying, and then you tighten your ass and you tighten your lower abs. That is for helping this type of breathing. That's how you want to do Xing Qi to Dan Tian, deep lower abs natural breathing. Oh, you know. Well, the science is like that. If you go through enough looking into all this ancient thing in details, you realize that. Okay? It's not like today, or you do the Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao, or you're tucking your tailbone. What the heck are you doing? You are not following the ancient Chinese, and then you are not following the science. This is a human physiology, right? The proper breathing. Now, the same with the Qigong. This is the Shaolin document of Shaolin Qigong, martial art Qigong, prior to the burning of Shaolin. The real burning of Shaolin exists in about 1928, that era. The warlord of China is burning the Shaolin temple, not the movie thing, okay? So again, it's not the grandmaster of making stories like in the movie, like I just told you. So if you look into this carefully, clearly, what the Shaolin do is actually using the anapanasati, okay? The counting of breath, like today's the practice of samatha and vipassana. That is the technology within their Shaolin. It's not like today, Zen, everything is Zen. But what the heck is Zen? Okay? So now everybody is a victim. All those consumer in martial art, in Qigong, of the Chinese Kung Fu are victims. Because, as what I point out, the first thing, people don't follow the Chinese mentality or mindset when they study the Chinese classic. They get into this philosophy stuff and that, and then they call them, I have a sinology PhD. They use all this Western way of looking at things, logic, concept comparison, philosophy, all those things to study the Chinese classic. And they call themselves the scholar. How the hell is what they found out is proper, like I said. Zero people after this 100 of years until I get enough of it, I say, I'm going to tell the world what the heck General Qigong said, because everybody is doing whatever using their philosophy, Western philosophy mindset to study the Chinese classic. And I just share with you on this buy and sell grandmaster. You have all type of buy and sell grandmaster since 100 years ago. They're keeping saying, oh, this guy is better than that guy. This master's kung fu is better than that master's kung fu. By the way, I learned the secret set of 1850s Wing Chun. But nobody be able to tell what is going on. As what I share with you. Have you ever seen people explain to you why in the ancient Chinese, when they practice the Qigong, Xing Qi to Dantian, and activate all the Qi, they have to squeeze their butt, their ass, pulling in their stomach or contract their stomach, and also pull up their Hui Ying. Have people explain you that? And have people actually just map it into science today? So, well, the ancient Chinese is just saying that. What's the big deal? What is the big deal? But people don't do that. They say, oh yeah, you have to tuck your tailbone when you do your Xiu Lim Tao, or lifting your anus. Then there's some kind of qi. Are you serious? You don't even know how, what is this? Okay, the activations of pure floor muscle and diaphragm, and how to handle this intra-abdominal pressure. What the ancient Chinese know. And also the same. Everybody talk about their Wing Chun, internal Wing Chun, 1600 Wing Chun, whatever, the oldest Wing Chun, and spend 10 years. But do they tell you that the real Wing Chun sticking body, my son or Tip San doing that in Cantonese, is actually saying like in the BJJ? And did anybody tell you that, oh, the real Shaolin practice is like today's Vipassana, counting breath, mindfulness, meditation type of training, but it's get deeper. So that's the problem. You lost contact with the ancient Chinese. You lost contact in today's world, as what I just shared with you. You don't know that, oh, this is just what the jiu-jitsu guy, our friend BJJ, do those things differently, but same directions. Oh, the science is like that. You miss all this real world stuff and the Chinese stuff. You're living in a fantasy land, and then you're keeping going out inside there, creating all type of mythology, but not be able to point out what is the technical thing and be able to achieve something. So Chinese Kung Fu right now is in this world, the world of using the Western philosophy to try to understand what the ancient Chinese do, the world of the buy and sell grandmaster and the storytelling grandmaster mix up. So for me, that's why I told everybody, like the other day, I explained on this Kung Fu 1560 and this restricting Wing Chun. This is how the base of the Wing Chun, as what I told you just now, you track it in 1850s Wing Chun writing. Oh, Shaolin. Oh, General Qigong. Oh, there's Mei stuff. Oh, there's White Crane stuff. Then you say, oh, what is it? Oh, there's 4 arms there. Anything special, like any mythology, magic power? No. You train it properly is another way of what? Standing, grappling type of thing, but it's instead of grappling, it is striking and throwing all sort of stuff. That's Wing Chun. So imagine you see a BJJ which is using strike at that range, at standing. Imagine analogy. You need to get there. And as for the I talked about this just now, the breathing and intra-abdominal pressure. That's why it is in the decoding Wing Chun. That's why you have to have all the scientific measurement and explain in the scientific way, physiological way, and you have to be able to explain it in today's science, or else how the hell we get it? And for the meditation and the base of the Qigong, see inside here, I've been talking about this recovery, this the base of Qigong, and this book is a special to look into, to make it simple, how you want to develop it. And common people will not be able to develop it, even though, you look at all this Qi and everything. Common people need to do it laying down. Because us, the common people, you're asking him to stand up like that, and you're asking him to stand properly, and then squeeze your ass, lifting your anus, and then contract your lower abs. The guy, we just cannot do it. Why? Because you need to be able to stand properly. So in order to get to here, the first thing is better to do what? It's better to laying down. And if we do it properly, with the tracker, we have the technology with the tracker today, we can track our heart rate, our breathing. We know it's proper. You experience it, then you want to turn into, you be able to do it standing, step by steps. Otherwise, I really don't know how are we going to get there. What the ancient Chinese said is, it is applicable today because we are just human. Okay, so we can do it scientifically, and there's no magic, there's no mythology there. It is down to earth stuff. That's the reality of Kung Fu and Qigong. It is not this really magical stuff. It is not. It is what we can use it to live every day, improve our living. Not, in fighting is one thing, that it provide you information. This is like, you learn jiu-jitsu. Wing Chun is like jiu-jitsu. Other martial arts is like the jiu-jitsu too. Like Western boxing. It is applicable. What you train is what you use in the real life. However, the Chinese martial art have the, as what I present in the coding Wing Chun, you have the recovery part, you have the fitness part, you have the strengthening part. You need to take care of the health. There is a uniqueness there. You won't see this in jiu-jitsu, you won't see this in karate, you do not see this in the Western boxing. You don't see this in MMA. So there's uniqueness. So the Chinese Kung Fu have its uniqueness, the Japanese martial art have its uniqueness, everybody have uniqueness, but it all live in this world. And it is all can be proven by science that it is a real thing. Of course, everything have a limitations because you're human. Okay? So I hope that you guys see this. And I wrote all this thing is because the only way to get out from that studying the Chinese classic ancient with the Western science and the way, or the Western philosophy way, is we need to track this thing down, is to write it in the book so that everybody can read it. The only way to get away from this buy and sell and the storytelling grandmaster is to write it down as a textbook. So over here, you only have the ancient Chinese classic, what it is described, per science, what it is described as it is, so that everybody be able to attain it, achieve it, get result. Or only that way we can live in a real life. Okay? We cannot be keep guessing. Okay? So this is what I like to share with you. So hopefully you see what I'm presenting here. And always ask yourself, is this a buy and sell? Is it a storytelling? Is it using the Western philosophy way to try to study the Chinese classic? If it is not, it ought to be able to tell you all the details. It ought to be able to show you scientifically what it is. It ought to tell you, how is this? Like I show you the Wing Chun forehand. It's like the BJJ. As what I share with you, that the Shaolin Qigong is like the Anapanasati or the Vipassana training. If we don't get that far, I don't even know what we are doing, buying snake oil. So this is what I like to share with you today, okay? We need to start everything fresh in America, so we can discuss in science, in whatever evidence of the Chinese. Nobody need to make enemy to everybody. We can reason, scientific proven evidence, and so forth. That way is the only way everybody get benefit and everybody can improve and grow. So this is what I like to share with you today.